sometimes it actually is nothing missing. It's just connecting to something that desires to manifest, that desires to be embodied. Welcome to this episode of Sanctum, the conscious high life. What is missing? Yes, welcome to this episode of Sanctum, the conscious high life. What is missing? In this episode, I will be talking about courage. What is missing? Sometimes it actually is nothing missing. It's just connecting to something that desires to manifest, that desires to be embodied, that desires to be known more than the mental space. We can understand things intellectually, but to embody them, to be, to know, to live them out, as I like to say sometimes, to not only intellectually understand them, but to be courageous. And this courage comes from a place of truth, a place of not the courage that is sometimes very masculine, very out there, very visible, vocal. Sometimes it's just the courage to ask for support. So I know there is somebody, at least 3 people listening to this transmission of Sanctum, the conscious high life, what is missing, that really this message is for you. And the message is the courage for you to ask for help. Many high-achieving, high-performing, wealthy, successful people, accomplished people, do not ask for help. Sometimes this looks like a sign of weakness, but actually it is not. It is courage. It is not a vulnerability. It is not a weakness. It is a courage to ask for help, to ask for support. And that could look like calling a family member and just saying, hey, I would love to talk to you about this. I would love your support with this new venture, with this new business I'm doing. I would love your help to continue this legacy, this project, whatever it is that you know, there are at least 3 people listening to this episode of Sanctum, the conscious high life, what is missing. That this message is specifically for you to be courageous and ask for that support, for the help, for what you truly need. Because this is a need. It's not an option. This is something that you truly need. Because this is part of being human. We all have needs at a very deep level. And the more that we can honor those needs and fulfill those needs and satisfy those needs truthfully, the more that we elevate and expand our life, our power, our presence, our consciousness, our ways of being, we allow ourselves to receive what we truly need. We break free. We liberate ourselves from a way of being that might be destructive. It might look cute. It might look like it is empowerment, but actually it is destructive. And I am going to be very honest in the sanctum. It's a private space for us, for me, for you, for everybody listening. High performing, high achieving, successful, wealthy people. One of the big areas that can become unseen, like a shadow, is asking for help. And it would look, it's very clever, it's very intelligent. It would look like I can do it myself. When I ask them, they don't have many different clever stories that can come up. And so if you're one of the people that this message is for you, it's time to be courageous. And yes, you might not want to do it at first. It might not be your desire to be courageous. But I can promise you, the more courageous you are in the areas of your life where you know there is more depth, there is more connection, the more you expand, the more you elevate, the more you refine who you are, and the more sovereign you are. Conversation from a place of power. It is disempowering when one knows that you truly need support, to not ask for support, to not ask for help, and to also know that just because you ask doesn't mean it will be given. But the truth is, the first impact is the courage to ask, is the courage to reach out, is the courage to open yourself to receiving a no, to receiving a yes, to receiving the support and the help. So courage is a very, actually can manifest in different way. Of course, there's the courage when people are victorious, when they've accomplished and achieved, and there's a courageous, brave act of manifesting, showing, revealing that. But there is a silent courage, the courage that you might have convinced yourself, you might have told yourself, oh, this is not for me. Of course I am courageous. I don't need any help. I am perfectly fine. I know how to do everything myself. But actually, in the depth of who you are, you know that's not true. And nobody needs to convince you. It's just being truthfully honest with yourself, and going out and being courageous and asking for that help, for that support. So I'd like you to take a moment. I would love for you to take a moment. Obviously, you can skip this part, but if this resonates with you, take a moment to stop. If you're driving, be mindful, be careful, and just spend about 3 to 5 minutes either writing or thinking or being, asking yourself, in what area of your life is courage asking to be felt, to be experienced, to be embodied? The courage to show up as your true self. Sometimes this is the courage to just show up as our authentic self, and to know that that is powerful, to know that that's more than enough. That's the courage. Sometimes it's the courage to show up to somewhere where we perhaps don't desire, have no wish to show up at. But the courageous act will be to show up for you and for everyone else there. It might be the courageous act of going, I no longer wish, desire to carry on, to continue living these ways. Whatever those ways are, whether they're patterns of behavior, patterns of being that are no longer in resonance with you. Maybe that's even the way you treat your partner, the way you treat your wife. You may have been doing that for so long that it's become normal, but actually it is unkind, it's not loving, it's mean, it's destructive. So I leave you with this contemplation, with this reflection. And maybe you take some time after this transmission is ended, after you listen to this, spend 5-10 minutes and see what patterns, what unhealthy patterns, I call them destructive patterns. So what unhealthy, destructive patterns are in your lineage? What have you been given? What have you inherited? What have you been passed on that you decide it will not be passed on to anyone else?